Good morning, ladies. What is it? Oh, it's afternoon. Usually we do these in the morning. And so I was like, good morning. And I'm back. Like last week I was back from being sick. And I was really like scatteredly working through the week, trying to get my energy back. And even though I have a cough drop in my mouth today and I'm just coughing a little bit, my energy is just about back to 100%. It's taken that long from being sick. And today I have Christine Rothdeutsch with me. And I'm really excited because we are talking all about productivity and how that equates to the impact that you make in the world. So Christine, introduce yourself on this Member Monday Spotlight and talk to everyone a little bit about you and what you do and why you are so passionate about productivity.
Well, thank you, Colleen. Yes, it's Christine Rothdeutsch. Very good on that. I appreciate that, although it is the husband's name, not mine. I'm coming to you from sort of sunny Pennsylvania, and my business is implementing your vision. I work with solopreneurs who have just gotten so frustrated with trying to figure out how to implement everything their coaches are teaching them, everything that they're learning. And they realize that without getting some help to organize all that, to organize their thoughts to begin with, they're just throwing spaghetti up against the wall, and they're never going to achieve the business really of their dreams. Oftentimes I hear people say, oh, I'd love to have a VA, but oh, I don't know where to start. Well, that's where I come in. It's helping the solopreneur prepare. And yes, it does cost more in the beginning, but it's very difficult to just say, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to get all this done and I'm just going to start outsourcing to freelancers and whatnot, because we're not good at everything. And communicating to somebody else what your needs are, if you don't even know what your needs are,
no.
How are you going to communicate it? So I speak coach, not the handbag, but I understand what business coaches are telling solopreneurs to do. So I'm that liaison to get everything going, get things implemented, and to get it going before the night before that it's needed. I'm proactive.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm glad that you said that.
Tell me what's on your schedule for the next 3 months. Okay, let's figure this out ahead of time.
Let's dive into that a little bit, Christine, because first of all, one of the most frightening things that I heard you say was that, they're getting all this information from their coaches and then they need to implement it. Number one, and maybe I'm just different because I've been doing this for 22 years, but I'm on the, assistant side with my clients on putting together a plan on them implementing, right? So I think that's a piece that's missing. But then even once they are taking that implementation and putting it in place, it's nice to hear that they have a resource like you, Christine, who can jump in with them and really help them do that. And I do know a lot of ladies that, are looking for VAs, but they're not exactly sure. They just know one thing. Let's talk about that. They know that they're not able to be as productive as they want to be because they are what we call in overwhelm, in major overwhelm. So let's talk a little bit about that. When someone comes to you and they're in major overwhelm, what is it that you offer them? What is the clarity? What are the steps? How are you able to help them go from overwhelm to being highly productive?
Well, I like to start out the relationship with getting it all out on the table. Let's just dump it all out. I get my mind map software out and it's like, all right, tell me everything you're involved in. What are you studying? What are you trying to implement? What tools do you have? And there too, sometimes people aren't using the right tools. But we get it all out on the table and then look at, okay, what are you trying to achieve in the next few weeks? What do you need to be working on? And let's let everything else go for now. It's like, because it can't all happen at once. So we map out a plan of what needs to happen, what the client needs to be doing, and what I need to be doing to help them achieve that goal for the next few weeks or the next month or two, is how I like to start out with my clients. Because yes, many people come to me and they're just so overwhelmed. Again, they're saying, I don't know where to start. So we develop that plan together.
So you work very hands-on with your clients then, and are you involved in the implementation? Are you actually doing some of that implementation with them, or are you just helping give them clarity and directing them on the assistance there?
Oh no, I'm implementing for them.
Oh, okay.
I get them started. The goal for me is to get them in such a state that everything is systematic and that they get to the point that they can just outsource to a freelancer because they know exactly what they're doing. You know, like I said, you know, you can't just say, oh, I need somebody to do this if you don't know how to do it yourself, if you don't know how to communicate it. So I implement for them. And that's what I just love, like putting things together and making it happen. And with this internet thing, you know, it's like, oh, look at that. It worked, you know, to get them started. I don't want to continue month after month of, you know, doing the same thing. It's the goal is to get my clients going into a system, you know, automate as much as possible. And then we can outsource to somebody that just, you know, says, okay, give me the work and I'll just do it for you.
So how, explain to the listeners how your services are different than like a typical executive virtual assistant, like a, you know, how are your services more elevated, or what would you say? How are they different?
Well, I tend to work a lot with different types of coaches and speakers. It's basically service-based solopreneurs. And because of my background of all the coaching programs that I've been in, all the money that I have spent and everything, I use all that knowledge that I've gained in helping my clients also, because sometimes we'll even get into, oh, you got a networking thing tomorrow, give me your 30-second commercial. It's like, let's work on that a few minutes. It's like, because I put myself into their avatar. And that's one thing I've done for many, many years is, you know, I understand who they're talking to. Although, you know, I struggle with my own. It's like, but for other people, for clients, it's like, no, let's see if this is resonating and let's tweak this a bit. So everything that I'm learning from my coaches and that I've absorbed, I pull what is needed at the time and bring that into. It's not, I don't just say, oh, let's do a funnel. Oh, let's do a opt-in, you know, no. It's all the core basics of what every business owner should have is what I bring it to the table.
Awesome. Talk to us a little bit about those basics and what they are, because I want the listeners to understand what you do, how you could fill a void for them and something they may be going through. Like, is it a 3-month period of time you work with someone customized? Is it a month? Like, how long would they plan on working with you? And what are those core basic fundamentals that you're able to help them with for them to launch?
Well, you know, Colleen, you hear many times it takes 21 days to form a new habit. Well, we don't work together 21 days solid. It's like, but in order to form new habits, which my clients are working on, forming those new habits, putting new things into place, I find a good place to start is with 6 months to form that base of getting, you know, scheduling applications in order and have them use them the right way. So many people, oh yeah, I have an online scheduling tool, but I have to go in every day and change my availability. Yeah, no, it's not how you use it. No. But it's setting up, you know, and getting them to use their tools correctly and effectively. Like I say, the calendaring and scheduling, blocking out time blocking. That's a core skill everybody needs. So that's one of the elements that I work on with my clients when it's needed. Some people come in and they're really good with that.
Yeah.
Like I say, your messaging, if it's just, like a 30-second commercial just to refine it, a little bit, fine, we'll do that. The CRM, both the one-to-one and soapbox moment. People they misunderstand what CRM really means, and it really does mean two different things. You need something that can manage those one-to-one contacts, but also the one-to-many, the mass marketing. So those are two different elements that everybody needs in their business, and maybe it's all done in the same area, and maybe it's not. Maybe we're talking two different. Again, to put these things into action and use them every day, because again, we can build anything, but unless it gets used every day, what's the point? It's like, putting dates on a calendar. Yeah, but I don't look at my calendar. So what good is it? It's like, you have to use these things every day. So, those are the main areas that I work with my clients, getting their lead magnet in place, or multiple lead magnets, and getting them working correctly. It's the core areas that everybody needs.
You are super unique in your industry and what you do. I've never worked with anyone, or I don't know if there's any other female in the Lead Up for Women community that does what you do. I mean, you essentially not only coach coaches and speakers on how to do things correctly, but then you work on the implementation piece. So you're like a coach, VA, specialist in one, where you're not only coaching them on what they need to be doing, but you're also taking time off their schedule by assisting them in time blocking, how to use the tools they have, which tools they should be using, and then you're implementing those pieces for them as well. And that's a design I've never seen before, where someone is coaching and doing the work as well.
Yeah, I've been implementing for almost 10 years now. And, about 4 to 5 years into it, I realized that I wasn't doing my clients any good by just doing what they gave me. It's like, okay, do this email. Okay, set this up, do a podcast editing, whatever. Because I'd say, so how is this making you money? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, it's not really making me any money. And eventually we get to the point of, this other thing is making the money for me. So I'm going to stop. I realized, oh my God, I'm not doing myself any good, and I'm not doing my clients any good. So I changed the focus to, how is all this making you money? What are those activities? And again, I love to learn. That is a little bit of a problem, because there's only so many hours in the day to learn. But then I love to share that with my clients. It's
you sound like a wealth of knowledge of, listen up, ladies, if you're paying attention to this. Christine has not only been through a lot of the coaching programs and leadership programs and has graduated with certifications like you have, who are coaches and speakers out there, but now she's taking that knowledge, she's using her background knowledge, she's bringing those together, and she's coaching you for 6 months on understanding why you're not making the money that you want to make in your business, things that you have to change, how to get better organized, how to use tools more efficiently. And she's implementing a lot of those pieces for you. I just don't know anyone else out there that's doing that, Christine. It's just such an amazing package that you have. So talk to the listeners quickly as we wrap up. How can they reach you? And we'll make sure that we put all that information in the comment section as well when we wrap this up.
Well, they can find me at my website, implementingyourvision.com. And I also have a Facebook page by that name, and LinkedIn, I'm Christine Rothdeutsch. Those are probably the best ways to find me. And I just, I encourage the listeners to really think about how they're spending their time. And yes, you do have to understand how these things work, but it doesn't mean you have to figure it out first and waste time. People that need you, you're holding back on them, by wasting time behind the computer, trying to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, I love that. So if you want to save time, if you want to work with someone who's been through a lot of the programs you've been through, that has the knowledge, that has the background, that can help you not only put together a plan, but also help you implement that plan and will be key in implementing that plan with you by doing the work, Christine Rothdeutsch, she's the one that you need to talk to. So Christine, thank you for being with us today. And thank you so much for the work that you do in the world to support women. Do you work with men as well?
I do work with men. I
Yeah.
tend to get mostly women clients. I've worked with a few men over the years. They're
That's
actually a
because
little bit easier to work with. Just saying, you know.
women are dominating the entrepreneur market, and that's our goal. So that's probably why you're finding so many women to work with. So ladies, coaches, speakers out there, Christine's a great resource for you. So she'll drop all of her information below. Make sure you follow her on Facebook, connect with her on LinkedIn, and go to her website to learn how you can implement your vision with the help of Christine. So Christine, thank you so much for being with us today. It was such a pleasure. And ladies, have a wonderful rest of your week. And don't forget, be you and be strong. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.